I had volunteered for a few other rescues and shelters, and it's definitely part of who I am, but I did not anticipate opening a rescue. I had started a page on Facebook that would feature dogs and cats from various shelters in Southeast Michigan in one place. So if somebody was looking for a German Shepherd, they didn't have to call 17 different shelters. If they went to this page on Facebook, it would show what animals were in what shelter at that time. It was pretty quick that I started getting contacted about various dogs that needed rescue from various situations, and I ended up with this call about, she was like a small pit mix out in Flint, and the guy sent me a photo and basically told me I had 1 hour to find a place for this dog to go, or he was letting her out the front door in a really bad area. And I panicked. I called every contact I had. I found a rescue for her, and I drove up there. What I wasn't told was that she was completely emaciated, I mean literally skin and bones, and she was about to pop pregnant. So the rescue that had offered to take her didn't know this information either, because I didn't know. And she went into labor in the back seat of my Taurus, and it was a complete disaster. We had to have the vet come out. She was so bad health-wise that her body had already started like eating its organs to try to feed the puppies. It was just a bad situation. In the end, it all worked out. Although she had 9 puppies, she survived. It was like a miracle that it all went as well as it did, and it in such a time frame. And about a week later, I got a similar call about a dog named Karma out in Flint. Not a great area, but a little bit better. And it was a tiff between a neighbor, and they had called animal control saying that they fought their dogs, which was completely ridiculous. Like, these people were a family, they had kids, and animal control was on their way to pick up Karma. And I had no plan. I did everything wrong. I got in my car, I drove to Flint, I picked up Karma. I was completely in love with this dog. I lived in a house that had breed restrictions. She was a 6-year-old pit bull. I was in the car making phone calls. I had no idea what I was going to do with her. Bill and Missy from Detroit Bully Corps had offered to board her until I figured out what I was going to do with her. Then I found out that she had been hit by a car previously, and it was never taken care of, so it healed wrong. And because she had never had back care, she ended up with hip dysplasia in both of her hips, and then she had problems with both of her elbows from shifting her weight. So it was a situation that I was not anticipating, but altogether it was like $6,000 to have the surgeries. I didn't give up on her. I just went to work. I recruited people. I figured it out. We raised all of the money that we needed. She had a ton of people that were watching her story. And we did this without rescue backing. It was me and like 3 other girls. There was not a no in sight. Like, we just did it. And she got her surgery. She went through rehab. She was fine after. I mean, she was a sweet dog. So she was my first like rescue success, and somebody that had kind of been a participant in her rescue had made mention that, you know, the way that we did it and didn't give up on her and didn't, you know, dump her in a shelter, that I should go fill out the paperwork and become a legitimate rescue. I had never thought about it before, but I loved it. I loved every minute of it, even the chaotic parts, even the parts that I didn't know how it was going to turn out. I loved it. And so I did. I went to Lansing, I filled out all the paperwork, I got it expedited, and I think a week later we were a legitimate rescue. Or I was at that point. We've never been huge. We've always been a small rescue. The dogs that we do have in our care are completely spoiled rotten. They don't go without anything. And I don't want it to be like a timeline where it's, you know, just an assembly line of dogs coming in and out. It's never been about the money. I tend to have a soft spot for the tough cases. But that's how AllForKarma got its name, because it really was, it was all for her. Everything I did in the beginning was for her. And so when it came to naming the rescue, it really was, it was all for Karma.